When I was a teenager, my ears got turned off to what my parents were trying to tell me, and they didn't come back on to where I could hear them for quite some time. I happened to be lucky in that I had excellent instructors in different places and in school. There was a man named Byron Thompson, and while it was no blood relation like that, although we did share a heritage from the Scots side, he was a very, very good teacher. Still acts, and you can learn and sit by his fire and learn from him today. But I will never forget that he was the embodiment of respect and discipline. My father, even though I couldn't hear him for quite some time unless we were talking about martial arts, and he allowed Byron too, because Byron was the same kind of teacher he was. He embodied the command presence, and when he spoke, everyone listened. But he was always kind. And that part really rung out for a lot of us. Later, while I was a young adult, there was a man by the name of E.T., Eric Thomas, and another one, C.T. Fletcher. And these men were the embodiment of command presence and discipline. Why we constantly talk about that with martial arts. It's about your behavior. That's what we're going there to do. Behave in respect and discipline, honor, integrity. That's the most important parts. I mentioned them, though, because my ears were just getting turned back on right after having found them on social media, which is why I say our job here with everybody who creates videos is very, very important, because we would never want to lead somebody down a path that was not positive, not beneficial, and lead them down the wrong path. And there's many people out there who will, and that needs to be addressed. One of the reasons why I say you must question everything from anybody you would be learning from all of your teachers, no matter the subject, but also why I say we have to include ourselves in that. You must question me. Do not take anything that I say to be wholly factual, to be axiomatic. It does require the burden of proof. If you don't know it yourself to be true, you must question it. It's the only way we can keep you safe. We have to include ourselves in it, because otherwise, if we don't, we're no better than any of the people who are trying to sell you fluff. Every martial arts instructor, every combatives instructor, everybody that I know will absolutely acknowledge there is a lot of baloney out there. It's really hard to be able to tell, and everybody has their own opinions about what that may be, what that may not be. It's largely not to do with any style. It isn't. As far as martial arts goes, there are fantastic instructors out there. You can't look at their style and say it's that. As I mentioned a few times, I know many, many instructors, Shotokan, Kyokushin, instructors who are cops, corrections officers, military members, and they teach these things. I've known a few of them that are cross-trained from Taekwondo to Kempo to Kung Fu. It's who they are and what they do, how they do it, that makes a difference. And it doesn't have to be that community either. There are many instructors out there that weren't those things that teach very, very well. But we should always be questioning, making sure that we know that they held themselves to the same high degree that we need to. That they can give the reasoning behind why they teach what they teach. It's extremely important. They should always be held to the highest of standards, because when we are talking about things with this, well, these very much so could be life-saving measures. So you should always go cross-train, and you should always be able to question and understand. They need to know what they're talking about. Or as my father would say, make your teachers do their job. Make them teach. My ears did eventually get turned back on. And I'm very, very thankful for that, because both my mother and father had wonderful lessons that I was able to eventually hear. And I just hope that anybody else who is hearing these things from me would know when we are pointing them down the best path possible. But don't let me just say it. You make me prove it every time. It's the only way we can keep you safe. So, if you're looking for a self-defense tool that you can use right now, the Soul Defender is the only self-defense tool that I absolutely do encourage people to look into and get. This company's technology in both devices that they sell sends out emergency alerts to 24/7 dispatch and contact the police for you, as well as your own emergency contacts, meaning you can let your loved ones know that you need help right now, the push of a button, or if you end up having to engage with this spray. You can find and use this code here and get yours today. I'm Instructor Thompson, my self-defense studio.